Fred, can you tell us how you got to where you are in your career today?
It's funny. I was graduating college, like most kids, had a degree in psychology and had no idea what I wanted to do with my career. My mom got a letter from the admissions office saying that they were looking for students to represent the university at high schools and be an admission counselor. And I laughed at my mom. Long story short, I got the job.
Wow.
It was a 2-year commitment where I would work for the university. Spring and summer, I would take classes for a master's in organizational development. During the fall semester, I would travel around to the Metro New York area, Long Island, Westchester, and go to the high school and sit outside, as you remember, the lunchroom at the tables, and I would talk to students about the university. And that's how I fell into recruiting, funny enough. No one wakes up and says they want to be a recruiter. My parents always tell me I wanted to be a lawyer, they wanted me to be a doctor. Never said they wanted me to be a recruiter. They did say I couldn't be a psychologist. I can tell you my dad, he knew I couldn't handle that. That being said, so I fell into recruiting, like most people did. And it was in the late 90s. The dot-com boom were coming. And DoubleClick was just being invented. Earthlink was coming out. AOL was the browser we were using. And I found my way to a technology recruiting firm, and I worked at this firm for about 4 years doing permanent IT recruiting on both sides of the desk. I dealt with the clients and the candidates. It was great. What's amazing is my first client ever, Bolt Media, is now a client today, 20 years later.
Nice.
Here locally, South Florida, SVP of Human Resources at one of the biggest franchises in South Florida, and she's currently a client as well. So relationships are paramount. And long story short, they wound up making me an offer. I couldn't refuse. I wound up working with Commerce, which is now TD Bank, for about 10 years, and I built a recruiting function for 5 verticals there. I built it we had a team from Maine to Florida while I lived here in Florida, and we supported the retail bank, the commercial bank, the wealth bank, the insurance, and the mortgage bank, and really had tremendous success. At the end though, I wanted to do what I love. I wanted to continue doing recruiting, hands-on, building a company where we can change people's lives every day. Corporate America is amazing. So fortunate I had that experience. Maybe a more well-rounded professional, well-rounded recruiter and business owner. So I was very fortunate to have that experience. Fast forward 3 years, Infinity Staffing Partners, I have a team of 6. David Eiches is my Director of Business Development, who's been in the industry for about 15 years. He focuses on the client management, he builds relationships, and he does a lot of the reach out to our clients and manages that process. Lynn Anders works with me part-time. She's a stay-at-home mom who was in the industry in New York 20 years ago, built up an entire division, and now is working with me part-time as a part-time mom. So she works 4 or 5 hours a day in the office and then goes home and takes care of her 2 beautiful daughters. True asset to the team. Erica, who's been on my team for about 6 months now, joined recently. She's got a younger family. She also works part-time. She comes in 2 days a week and makes a tremendous impact with her candidates. She worked at Otis Elevators for about 5 years before she came here. My number 1 recruiter, my wife, Jill. She's got 20 years of osmosis, but never recruited a day in her life. She's my number 1 recruiter. She's been with me it'll be 2 years this summer. And she's fantastic. She has great rapport with the candidates. She's got a good relationship with the team. She helps me build out the team. The most exciting part today, I gotta tell you guys, I recently hired a gentleman, Brendan, who's got really no experience. He's 23 years old. He got a full ride scholarship, academic and athletic, to Pinecrest. Nice. He graduated with starting college. Unfortunately, he got several concussions and made the conscious decision on his own not to go back to football, and joined my firm about a month and a half ago.
Wow. And
got an offer for someone at a Fortune 500 company. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but tremendous success within the first month.
That's awesome.
It is. It's been really fun to help groom him,
right.
Help empower him.
Sure.
For me, going back to the company, I want to build a company that's competitive, that's collaborative, where we can empower people to be successful. You run your desk as your own business. I'm not here to micromanage. That's why I hire adults. I want people that come in, do what they need to do, and get the job done. I want to empower you to be successful. I want you to make a lot of money, and I want you to do that by changing a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, that's a beautiful backstory of how you have come to where you are today, very successful with Infinity Staffing Partners. Family-run business, you work with your wife and this great team here. You have this new intern that's also starting you off on the social media marketing.
Oh yeah, how did I forget
Fantastic.
about Kate?
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we're looking to continue to grow, but strategically. You know, we're really focused on accounting and finance, building out that division. And once we have that good groove going, you know, we'll look to expand into either technology or healthcare, but really focus accounting, finance, business, banking. Every company across the country has an accounting department of some sort, has a
Right.
finance department, and
Yeah.
we'd love to be a resource for you.
Sure.